यहाँ बैठे हैं तो अरबी में बात कर लें, लेकिन अगर चाहें तो उर्दू में या अंग्रेजी में भी कर सकते हैं। Mr. Vice Chancellor, the distinguished members who are here, and all the alumni, it's an absolute pleasure to join you here this evening to share this very special moment when you are celebrating the 97th Foundation Day of one of our truly great national institutions. An institution that has contributed so much to public life, that has produced luminaries in every walk of life, that has won the accolades of some of our tallest leaders. Rabindranath Tagore ji, who said Jamia is one of our most progressive institutions of India. Mahatma Gandhi, who called it an oasis in the Sahara of communal violence, which had broken out at the time of partition. And an institution that has steadfastly championed a liberal and progressive view of education. An institution that has told us what we would be if we were deprived of education. I think it was Mandela who said education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. And how true, because we live in an era where we see the emergence of all kinds of groups. Sometimes we can dismiss them as fringe elements. In America, it's become fashionable to call them the alt-right or something else. But they do have one thing in common, and that is a lack of education. It is that lack of education, that barren landscape in the mind, that produces the bigotry, that produces the lack of understanding of other people, of other cultures, of the other, whoever that might be. And sometimes that lack of understanding, lack of awareness of the other, that incompleteness of education produces horrendous consequences. We see it manifested in suspicion, in hate, in paranoia, in irrational acts. And so, at this time, more than ever before, we need to take a step back and tell ourselves, this matters. Education, in the brightest, in the broadest sense of opening our minds, matters. Education that teaches not about our own society and culture and religion and language, but others too, matters. And I've been to Jamia, I've had the pleasure of interacting with the International Relations School, with the Communication School, and I know the values that come forth from this great institution. In a sense, the job of a diplomat, particularly in a country like UAE, where you have almost a microcosm of India in the 2.7 million strong Indian community that lives here, gives the ambassador an opportunity to interact with, engage with, imbibe from some of the finest members of our communities. Earlier today, in Abu Dhabi, we were at a wonderful, lively celebration of the word Goa Day. I didn't even know it existed until I went here today. And soon after, the reason we have to leave early, my wife and I, is because today is also being celebrated here in Dubai, the Syed Day, and the alumni of the AMU are also getting together. And tomorrow, we play host to Chief Minister Chandrababu Naidu from Andhra Pradesh, who's going to be here on an investment promotion mission. But that's the kind of diversity that a job of a diplomat here brings. One point that had been brought up was about the registration for alumni. May I request, please send a mail to us, let me know what the issue is. Because we do have so many associations of different universities. There's the IITs, there's the BITS, there are others. So let me know if there's a particular issue, and I'm sure it can be addressed. Finally, I must say that for an Indian diplomat here, we truly are at a historic moment. It might be a cliche to some to say India-UAE relations have never been better, but I'm sure people living in this country feel it. They feel the new momentum in this relationship, and they see the transformation that is taking place, not just in the traditional sense of government-to-government links, but in trade and investment. I don't know how many of us here know that UAE is our third largest trading partner. That our non-oil trade last year was $52 billion. Our exports last year were $32 billion to UAE. And if I just compare with my last assignment, which was Australia, where I was High Commissioner, our exports to Australia were less than $5 billion. So that's how large this relationship is. UAE has also committed to invest up to $75 billion in Indian infrastructure. I'm very pleased that 3 days back, the Abu Dhabi Investment Authority made its first announcement to invest $1 billion in the National Infrastructure Investment Fund of India. I think this is just the first installment of much more to come. And in sensitive areas like defense and security, we're seeing the kind of cooperation between our countries that would have been unimaginable just a few years back. So I want to tell all my friends who reside in this country that you will be the beneficiaries of this growth in our relations between India and UAE. There's never been an occasion when I'm not told by my Emirati friends that Indians are the preferred, the best loved community in UAE. And if I'm not divulging any state secret, just before the visit of His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed to India as a chief guest on our Republic Day earlier this year in January, I was talking with some very senior officials, and they said, we're being told to drive this relationship because our leaders believe that India and Indians are the people we trust. Why? And without naming the senior leader, they said, at our home, we leave our children in the care of an Indian nanny. In a hospital, we put our lives in the hands of Indian doctors. And in the bank, we put our money in the hands of Indian bankers. So, there's a lot of goodwill that has been earned by the Indian community, both in the top end and those blue-collar workers who toil in 50 degrees centigrade and have been recognized for their contribution to building this country and to creating the kind of relationship that we have today. Before I conclude, just one last thought. My wife and I have, in fact the inspiration came from her, I must confess. In Abu Dhabi, we've been trying to create a new, how should I say, habit. Each time we go to an event like this, and I can promise you there are many, it hurts to see कि इतने खूबसूरत फूलों को शहीद कर दिया जाता है एक फंक्शन के लिए, एक समागम के लिए। तो हम कहते हैं कि ये तो रेगिस्तान है, कीमती है यहाँ फूल, तो क्यों ना हम एक छोटा सा पौधा गिफ्ट करें, घर लेके जाएं, उसको कहीं लगाएं, कुछ वो फूले, कुछ हम उसको। So let's try and spread this message that let's give ourselves small pots of plants instead of sacrificing so many flowers, which frankly it pains us to see that by the time we reach home they wither away. With those few thoughts, once again, a big congratulations to Jamia for its 97th Foundation Day, and keep up the great tradition. Thank you very much.
Excuse me, may I please stay here for a while?